Good afternoon. We're glad to see you at our SAP Tech Talks webinar. I'd like to say a couple of words about the event organization. The webinar will be recorded and then posted on our YouTube channel. You may ask all your questions in the Q&A field. Today's speaker is Anastasiya Belavus, and the topic is SAP Sales and Service Cloud, new look at a well-known solution. Anastasiya, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ilona. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. And I really believe that there are people whom I know watching this event today. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions. I really want this let's name it workshop to be very useful for all of us. So even if I don't have answer on your question in place, I will try to reach you out directly after to provide all information that you might need. And today's topic that I would like to present to you is Sales and Service Cloud, new look at this solution. And a few words about myself. Just give me a second. Yeah. So I'm senior consultant who dedicated 6 years of its life for Sales and Service Cloud, mainly for V1. But nowadays, I'm also involved in the projects for V2. So I have hands-on experience and theoretical also experience to compare both of these solutions. I was involved in a lot of projects in USA, Europe, Middle East regions. So have quite extended experience and understanding of different industries, regions, and businesses. So today's topic will be dedicated to 5 chapters. The first one, we will have a general view on CX Suite solution, what models we have inside, and what is different with V2. Later, in chapter 2 and 3, we will see trends in sales and service flows, how customers change their point of view, how sales reps and service agents react to it, and what business is ready to invest to. In the first chapter, we will compare V1 and V2, and we'll also talk about the challenges that we can face if we would like to migrate solution from version 1 to version 2. And in the end, it will be question and answer session, and I really hope on your active engagement. So let's start. So CX Suite overview. So let's start from definitions. What's the differences between CX and CRM in the world of SAP? So customer experience, or CX, it's how interactions with the brand or product make customer feel. And here we can have customers as business and persons. And CRM, it's more a technology tool that used to analyze and manage customer interactions and data transactions. And C4C, it's something in between, let's say. So C4C, it's a cloud version of CRM, because usually in world of SAP, we say CRM on-premise solution. So C4C, it's a cloud CRM that is a part of CX Suite and covers sales and service processes. So let's highlight the differences. So first one is outcomes. So CRM was essentially focused on selling more existing products, but CX goal is to collaborate and build common values with the customer and keep them as long as possible. And infrastructure. So CRM was basically on-premise central location solution, but nowadays we have a lot of channels, interactions, devices, and all of it requires more open cloud-based approach. And data, CRM was basically about collected operational information to control transactions, and CX, it's more about dynamic data to build 360-degree view of customer in the moment. So this is the definitions. And now let's look at the nowadays portfolio of CX. So we have 5 models inside, but all of them are based on the several pillars like cloud-based, API first, inbuilt artificial intelligence and machine learning, and global and omni-channel approach. But today we will be mostly focused on service and sales, like my knowledge field. So talking about it, and talking about the version 2, because now it's the main focus of SAP. They develop these products more in roadmap. We can see a lot of new features that they rapidly add and add and add. So from quarter to quarter, we can really see a huge differences in development and features available there. And regarding V1, it's more about bug fixing and adding like super essential features that are missing. So talking about V2 right now, we have Sales Service V2, and we have several ways how we can purchase them. So first option is we can buy separately sales part or service part. Just separately one piece because, for example, we have only sales team or service team. Second option is we can buy both of them, but still in different tenants. So, for example, we have sales team who needs to have their own tenant with their own rules, and we need to have service team who are separated, and they have their own rules there. We can have both of these solutions in the same tenant, in case if we have cross-team communication and we need all data be inside one system. And first option that we have here is to purchase the solutions with add-ons, for example, utility add-on for utility industry. Also, you need to keep in mind that version 2 is 2 tenants based solution. So we have test and prod. We do not have dev tenant. For example, with the classical V1 version, it was like mostly 3 levels of systems. So we have dev, test, and prod. Some customers also had 4 tenants, for example, tenant for data migration, to test data migration without custom development. So it's different in V2. So we have only 2 tenants, test and prod. And the solutions couldn't be as good as just like standing alone. So to empower them to bring more value to customers, we need to purchase even more models that SAP has, or some external services, for example, knowledge base providers, CTIs, or Qualtrics. So the pieces that not belong to SAP but really helps SAP product be valuable for customer. For example, we can use CTI for call features for our call center. We can use knowledge base providers to aggregate knowledge articles that sales reps can use while they're dealing with opportunities or leads. And we can use Qualtrics, for example, for scenarios when we would like to receive feedback via survey from customers. And the rest of, let's say, purple rectangles, it's something that is a part of SAP, but really can enhance performance and extend features of these 2 pieces of CX portfolio, sales and service. Coming next, this is my animation that I forgot. Coming next, we will talk about sales flow. So what trends we have here from buyers, sales reps, and business perspective. So the first case that we will investigate here is based on the research that was done by Harvard Business Review Analytics Services in the last year. So they collected a lot of feedbacks from business owners, and they made really nice statistic regarding new trends in the market and how let's say society or business would like to react to it. So it's really nice to read, and it's in public and available. So if you have time after the presentation, just dedicate 1 hour to study this material. So first case is buyers' needs. So we all buyers, and we all want our product faster, because in nowadays time is much more valuable than it was before. So we want to have everything immediately right now. And sales reps' obstacle in this case is that they have complex sales cycle, especially if you're talking about the sales in B2B world, let's say, because usually it's a huge sales, very customized, because every customer would like to have something different. And sales cycles need to be adjusted to it. Yeah, so usually it's very complex. So that's why we have some delays or inconsistency that can ruin our impression about the sales cycle in general. So that's why business would like to invest in effective sales processes and methods. And how SAP reacts to it. They provide intelligent sales feature in the version 2 that include guided selling, intelligent forecasting, and pipeline flow. So with these tools, sales rep can have step-by-step guidance on what sales actions they need to do. They also can identify pipeline leakages or visualize changes between periods to proactively identify issues. Next case that we have here, buyers want to buy via multiple channels. So in this case, mostly we're talking about B2C scenarios when we, as private people, would like to purchase via web form, mobile application, email, social media, and so on, or maybe just by phone. And sales reps face difficulties to engage clients virtually because nowadays, especially after COVID time, our shops, they prefer to have more virtual platforms, and they need to understand and know how to engage people there. Not every shop even have the physical store where we can go and touch and see and directly communicate with the sellers, right? So everything becomes digital. So business would like to invest into effective and easy to use tool to make it possible. So SAP offer digital selling work center. So here we can have omnichannel engagement. So all our leads, they're concentrated in one place, and they're connected with one account profile because of some key characteristics that we might associate with the account profiles. So all our incoming interactions, they will be aggregated in one profile, and sales rep don't need to jump between different tabs of views to see and collect all these pieces. Intelligent prioritization. So artificial intelligence adds some scores to the leads and opportunities to highlight the most promising and ready to close deals. So sales reps can concentrate their effort on the most promising deals. And also optimized user experience, because in version 2 we have a digital selling dashboard where different pieces of account data concentrated in one place. So activities, sales data, account information, everything just in one layout. So it seems to be very promising to optimize user experience and to help sales reps to be to engage customers easy. Next one, and the last case that we will consider today for sales flow, is customers want a consistent buyer experience. So they don't want to be lost or forgotten or not recognized. So sales reps experience lack of actionable data insights. So as we already told, like data is distributed and not concentrated in one place. And business wants to identify the right buyers and have a motivated team to proceed. So our SAP provides actionable sales analytics. So in with 360-degree account insights, they can view all activities that happen in there. They can also have interactive analytics and performance-focused sales dashboards with KPIs. So basically, SAP team tried to concentrate all valuable data in one layout, so sales reps don't lose their concentration and not lost. So next slide, I would like to view with you some, let's say, view how the system looks like. So we have, for example, lead. We have several work centers, work areas. On the left is the main information, and on the right central part we have activity list, I would say, not even activity, but all related entities with this lead. So account information, opportunities, calls, emails, notes, etc. About opportunities. And opportunities, we have capability to view them in the Kanban view, what is very helpful and intuitive for people. And the card of opportunity looks approximately the same as the lead. So on the left is a key information, but in the middle part is last interactions and key information about involved parties, for example, or products that we use. Yeah, and it's also easy to drag and drop opportunities between sales cycle phases. Yeah, so it seems that the team really worked on improvement of user experience. Yeah, so it's very easy to create email or to make a call to the customer, just like a few clicks and you're there. Also, tickling tasks, you can complete them and see how much things left to do or you've done today. Yeah, and also in Build Pipeline Manager, you can evaluate what is your forecast and how close you are to it. So I hope you enjoy the view. And moving next, I would like to summarize the trends in sales world nowadays. So in traditional models that was before, the concentration was on the transactions and sales just as they are. So how much you sell, the better. Nowadays, business model different. So it's more focused on the relationship, on the subscription-based relationship, on the on the relationship that you have with your customer. So you want them to come back to you, right? You want them to buy more. You want them to close their eyes on your price and just come back to you because like your values, your quality, your treatment to customer is different and outstanding in comparison with competitors. So this is a move of change that we can see nowadays. Yeah, and also keep in mind, please, that nowadays they say that manufacturers generate from 40 to 50% of their overall profits from services. So this is when we talk about subscription. So it's really valuable from the point of money also for manufacturers and business owners. So next one is the service flow. Here we have the same approach. We will see different situations from 3 points of view: buyers, service agents, and business investments. And let's start. So the first one, customers, when they face the issue, they would like it to be resolved very quickly, right? So we don't want to wait for months when we receive the solution for our warranty case or for our problems with access or whatever. So, but service agents, in the same time, they have problems or issues in switching between multiple systems, right? So, business would like to invest into easy access to all relevant customer data too. So the service agent can perform their job quickly and buyers can feel that they are valuable for the company. And what SAP provides, they offer connected enterprise. So the solution, SAP Service Cloud, has, let's say, inbuilt integration tools to stay connected with all other SAP models and not only. For example, with back office data like S4HANA, ERP, with other CX models, with subfield service management, for example, when we talk about service orders and other things. So in this case, service agent has access to all relevant data from one unit, and they don't need to switch between different tools, different systems, or ask different teams to collaborate on the issues because they can have access by themselves. Of course, if it's available for them and the business roles are not so restricted. So going next, the second case. So customers, they would like to have their needs to be accommodated. So they would like to feel that they're valuable for the company, and they can receive the support in time, appropriate time. And service agents can experience slowly adopted processes when there are changes, because nowadays world developed really quick, and a lot of people becomes more and more digital native. So all processes that companies have, they experience changes, and they need to be flexible and agile to accommodate them. And business would like to invest into effective and easy to change customer service tools. So what we have on plate here from SAP side is customer service agility. It means that there is an offer to have scalability platform with API first microservices based technologies, with low code, no code application development. So you can build composable apps and you can modify it quickly in case if changes required. It can be like a plus and a minus, because when it's low code, no code, then it's not so flexible as it was previously when you can write real code. But still, I see it as a trend right now to have this composable app approach, so enterprises can easily modify their processes and stay on the industry best practices way. And the last case that I would like to view with you today regarding the service requirements and changes. So the first one, buyers, they would like to access to customer service in a particular way. So once again, for example, someone prefers to have a chat conversation, and someone like my mom, she prefers to have a call conversation, and I prefer mostly to have a web form request. So we are all different, and modern system needs to support all of these wants and needs. So in this case, service agents could have disconnected service processes. For example, they might have one way how to process calls and another way how to process emails requests. So business would like to have seamless support for customers across all channels. So all communications needs to be connected in one place and needs to be responded in one way. So SAP provides omni-channel services. So with channel orchestration, you can see all incoming, outgoing activities related to the customer in one timeline work center. So you can see when case appeared in the system, what interactions was done regarding those service orders or regarding what registered products. We all have this information in one place. Yeah, and it's also because new work center available in the system is agent desktop. So interactions with the customer data, service objects, they all connected in one work center. So you don't need to jump between different tabs of work centers. Also, SAP provides customer self-service tool. It means artificial intelligence chatbot. So sometimes we know that we just need the right place to ask a question, and in some cases it can be artificial intelligence chatbot on the customer website. So asking the question, the chatbot can help you to clarify exactly what is the reason of your case, and maybe you can solve it by yourself. Let's have a look at the system, how it looks. How it looks from the view of service agent. So in the central part, we have a homepage where all activities and diagrams located. So we can see, for example, right now it was a case when a customer called and system recognized the caller. It already opens the count information with all valuable data like classification and total amount spent with us, and also some relationships that we might have, for example, spouse that is also registered in our system. In the central part, there is timeline with all interactions that was made before with this customer regarding this open case, and some sales orders that was already performed there. This timeline can be adjusted, so you can modifying the system if you want to include some objects or exclude them. Also, while we are talking, system make a record and transcript of the talk, and then according to the talk that we have inside, it gives us highlights what and where we need to go and look. Yeah, for example, in this case, we have a products related question, and service agent checks the warranty date, and then it's navigated to the knowledge base and built solution from the provider, where system also highlight what can be possible resolution for this case. So resolution right now is a service order where almost all information was already pre-populated because of the talk that we had with the customer and because of the already stored information from the customer. Yeah. So a few clicks, service order is created, and in parallel we can also see incoming chat activity. So we, as a service agent, we can accept it, keep it open, complete the call, current call with Julia, and congratulations, we made the job. Yeah. So this is how can ordinary day looks like for service agent with Service Cloud 2. And now it was like more marketing and more PR information for salespeople probably. And right now let's dig deeper into comparison V1 and V2. It's more for people who are familiar with the solution and interested in the in these changes. One more thing is just disclaimer. I'm working at SAP, but I'm not legally allowed to share any confidential information. So everything that you will see here, it's my experience or information that was available in public sources. So let's move on. Right now, let's have a look at V1 solution. So on the left, it's just a view how V1 looks like, and it's like very familiar layout for all of us because majority of customers right now is still working with V1, and V2 is just starting to be spread into the society, into the businesses, so not so well famous. And on the right part of the slide, you can see the list of features that are different in comparison with V2. So this is feature that not yet or will never be available in V2. So for example, talking about the first point is SDK. It's something that will not be supported in V2, and it's a main pain point if we talk about the migration from V1 to V2. So customized code is not supported into the transport. But regarding the rest of the list, it's more like features or work centers that available in V1 and not yet available in V2, but we still don't know if it will be available there or not, because, for example, part of it can be covered with, let's say, with other solutions, for example, resource schedule and skills management, time recording. For example, this can be covered with a field service management solution from SAP. But on the other hand, we have SAP can review their portfolio and they can say, for example, so field service manager can cover this part, so we will never maintain it in V2. Or for example, they will say, okay, let's maintain it in V2 and we will not have field service management anymore. So there is no promises and there is no clarity if these features will be available in the future or not, because it's just something that is still kept in the head of product owners at SAP. Moving next, V2. So almost all media information that you've already seen, it's something that was taken from the public sources available for V2, but still you can view how different layout is, right? So navigation is different, user menu is different, cards of objects is different. And on the right, there is a list of features that are outstanding in V2 and not available, and I'm afraid will never available in V1. For example, talking about microservice architecture is different approach that it will not be changed in V1, right? But it's available in V2. We have also part of features that are not kind of work centers, but it's tools that are built in, for example, opportunities or leads or cases, and it's something that's aimed to improve user experience and performance of the system, and let's say decision making when sales reps or service agents are working in the system. So you see a lot of intelligence, a lot of generative AI features. Yeah, so it's the main key aspect in V2 right now. And two last features, it's agent desktop and digital silent workspace. It's something that is a new work centers that we already seen today. It's something that helps sales reps and service agents to see all accumulated information in one place. So, for example, if you talk about agent desktop, so it's cases, accounts, activities, interactions, it's all together. So you just make one search and you see all relative information regarding this customer in this view. It's kind of a global search, but not. Yeah. Next thing, it's comparison between V1 and V2. Some features that are available in both tenants, but they named a bit different. For example, work centers not work centers anymore. It's business services, and View it's apps. So it's like quite different. Don't understand why it was needed to rename, because before I think it was also good names, but what we have. Tickets also renamed to cases. It's okay. My personal opinion, okay. Except next, administrator business configuration, and we have more work centers in V1 that are aimed to make settings and configurations in the system. And sometimes it was really confusing where you need to go particularly to see some information or to maintain some changes or settings, because sometimes it's business configuration, activity code list, sometimes it's administrator, some specific work center. Yeah, it was really challenging. In V2, they made really life easy. It's settings, just one work center or business service that is available for administrator, and there is a collection of all possible settings, starting from the let's say code list restrictions or business rules creation to ending with the logs information or integration settings, everything there. Yeah, they also have some small changes in names: workflow, autoflow, analytical report, analytical story, enterprise search, global search. Yeah, so more or less clear. It was my list of changes in terminology. I believe that probably there are more changes and yeah, something unexpected, but there is no kind of public information regarding it. So just like my observation that I collected here. Moving next. So we've seen difference in layouts. We've seen what features available in one tenant, what features available in the second tenant, and they're not they're different, right? So they're not existing in each other. And we see the difference in terminology. And now let's see the features that more or less existed in one system and they existed in the second system, but when we're talking about the transition from one system to another, it's not possible to transit them because there is no one-to-one mapping. So, for example, workflows and autoflows. So the nature of these features are the same. So based on some conditions, some actions happens. But we have different actions in place in V1 and V2, and the way how they configured are different. So that's why here, for example, we cannot move them. So we can think that, okay, we have workflows, we might have them in V2, but we need to be very, let's say, suspicious, because not all outputs are available in V2. So you need to review one by one, and then if it's possible, just manually transport it. Notification, machine learning, it's something that managed to be different in both systems, so also not possible to move. Extension fields with asterisks, because extension fields, they're available in V1 and V2, but I'm talking about extension fields that are created in adaptation. But in V2, we have limitation, like 50 fields per object. So it's really tiny scope, I would say, in comparison that with the space that we had in V1. So in V1, it was more about like how much spaces fields takes, and if you could create up to like maybe 100 200 custom fields in adaptation, but in V2 it's just 50. So if you're thinking to migrate, you need to be very precise what exactly fields you would like to move. Adaptation changes in V2, it's absolutely different approach in adaptation. It's super different, and there is not much, let's say, if you would compare adaptations, you would see that the half of availability of adaptation in V1 is not available in V2. So it's not available to migrate them and to have the same layouts. You just need to rethink how layouts are looked for different business roles and users in the system, and try to squeeze these needs into V2 capabilities. Mashups approach, they're both available in V1 and V2, but how they settled bit different, so you just need to rework them. Code list restrictions, the same thing, available in both tenants, but managed differently. Add-ons and SDK. It's a main point, problematic point, because SDK is not available in V2. But right now, what I know is if you would like to extend V2, you need to use BTP platform, especially build up tool. And this build up tool is available for extension for V1. So if your customer is already thinking to move to V2, try to think how would you rework the existing extensions in SDK into build up capabilities. So you can try to make these extensions in build up, connect them with V1, see how it works. If it's okay, then it will be easy to move the same extension to V2, because V2 also supports this build up capabilities. Yeah, so this can be the working advice, let's say. Try to adjust V2 wave of work approach. Then when we talk about analytics, well, in V2, there is no native analytic reports. There is analytic stories as a part of embedded solution from SAP Analytics Cloud. So Analytics Cloud is different with the native capabilities of V1. So all your reports will be more or less based on Analytics Cloud version, and you just need to look there, see how it works, and try to move or to be prepared how you can rework your reports to the based on the capabilities of Analytics Cloud, a solution that is already in place in SAP portfolio. Next, language adaptation available in both tenants, but they also manage different. So no transport. If you use it extensively, yeah, it will be manual work to rename all fields and tabs in version 2. Integration scenarios, yeah, all integrations need to be redone once again from the scratch. So it's something that you will have to work manually. Next, scope configuration. Yeah, scope approach, it's different in V2. As we told, like all this business configuration administration, they will move to settings. So there is like basically no one-to-one mapping. Objects identifier mappings and approvals. Yeah. So once again, different approaches. So this piece of settings in the system, you will need to make manual move, and you need to rework because V2 has its own limitations. I hope you're not fall asleep. And let's move to the interesting question. What can be the reason to move from V1 to V2? Because we see that V2 is more limited in comparison with V1, even though V2 has more artificial intelligence in place. Yeah. So, for example, big enterprises, they can be scared, really, like, what will we have with V2? So let's talk a bit about it. We have in V2 API first microservice-based technology approach, and this was done because all of us know that in V1 we really experience slow performance, especially if we try to make a lot of extensions with custom development, right? So to improve the situation, to make the solution light and easy and quick, the architecture was moved to API first microservices based technology approach. Yeah, and I want to believe that it will really help end users because working 6 years in this field, I know the main problem is performance. Composable app toolset. It's something that also aimed to help end users to have system flexible, easy, with no delays, with no issue in performances, and yeah, it really should help. At least I believe in it. Data-driven decision-making capabilities. Yeah, we've seen that in V2 they embed a lot of intelligent tools. So it's something that it's something that should help to make all this intelligent prioritization, scoring, suggestions in the next steps to complete. So one developer was asking me like, okay, we do not have SDK in V2, so how we will make all these smart decisions and advisory to end users? And I'm thinking on this question, and my answer is, okay, nowadays we have artificial intelligence. It's the one who will make all the job. It's the one who will make all this decision making without tons of code. Or at least I have a hope in it. Next one is V2 gives you an opportunity to optimize legacy processes and embed new best practices. As we told, like for example, layouts, right? It's something that differently managed in V2, and it's ideal opportunity for everyone to rethink how layouts were managed in V1, what mistakes were done, and what lessons are learned, and how we can move next. So really ideal opportunity to rethink what was done and what can be done that way. And the last point that I highlighted even for myself is user experience improvement. We've seen that there are a lot of, changes in how layouts looks like, and also we have more new work centers that try to collaborate and collect all pieces of information that can be decision making and data driven for sales reps and service agents. So I really hope that end users will enjoy these features in V2. So this is my list of let's say reasons why we might move from V1 to V2. But maybe in the future I will extend it or reduce it. Let's see, because I also only started this journey. And now the question is how to move from V1 to V2. Do we have some guidance from SAP? And the question is, yeah, we have transition guide to investigate for you guys. It's public available on sap.help page. When you go to Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, there will be a reference for transition guide, and it's not finished yet, but still you can find pieces of information regarding limitations, regarding the tools that can help you to move from V1 to V2. So really, like, you're free to go there and to check. I believe that SAP is working on making, some special service to guide or consult partners and customers on this transition. So I believe it's not the final version, and more advanced service or documentation will be published soon. So let's wait, but so far we can navigate there and see what this transition guide can offer us. So from there, we can find information regarding the readiness check tool and data transfer tool. So this transition guide states that if you intend to transition to SAP Sales Cloud version 2 or Service Cloud version 2 within the next 6 months from the date when the last version of this transition guide was published. So from 6 months to 1 year, you need to raise incident to SAP support. So, and there you need to mention your go-live details and transition timeline. And then you will receive the access to the work center with a readiness check tool. So as administrator, you can run this check tool in your system and see some automatic report, I would say, regarding what issues there might be, or what probably solution of transition you have in place. So never worked with this tool. It's something that is published in this guide. So yeah, but it's what is stated. So you need to, if you want to move, you need to request the access via support, and then this work centers will be available. And also you can have assessment and transition service and customer code transition service. So this is two more services that SAP can provide you in help to move from version 1 to version 2. So probably it will be about making consultant work for you and some best practices advices in place. So never worked with these services, and for all of us it's new. So basically I believe it will be updated and evaluated next lately. So for now, this is all that I was prepared for you guys, and I would like to make a quick recap so we have time for Q&A session. So first one, we've seen that there is a shift from one-time purchase to long-term relationships. It's something that modern sales models tend to be and to have in place. Regarding the services, it's no longer just about to sort out consumer complaints and answering questions. It's more about showing that you care about the customer and it's important for you what customer thinks or have in place with you. Automation is in spotlight because time is very valuable nowadays. So we really tend to have a lot of routine things automated and without any delay. So performance is also very important. User experience is as much important as the customer experience. So business also tends to care about not only their customers who bring money them, but also about the employees that they have in place and who are working with these tools. So the solution should be comfortable for people to work with and not to drop down their satisfaction. And last point to summarize is transition is available for V1 to V2, but we have restrictions in place, we have limitations in place, and we do not have yet a solid guidance from SAP, even though some guides are available in public and some tools are also available upon request. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation today, and I'm really happy to answer your questions if you have some.
Anastasia, thank you very much for such an informative presentation. I'm absolutely sure you've given everyone a lot of food for thought. Let's get down to the Q&A part. Okay, question number 1 is how to integrate data from SAP Service Cloud with SAP BW for HANA?
Okay, good question. So do we talk about SAP Service Cloud V1 or V2 and BV for HANA? I know S for HANA. So just what I have in place. So integration with SAP models available, but it's available in some part of integration. For example, if talking about S4HANA, and I hope BV for HANA really close to S4HANA. If not, then just reach me directly and I will try to find information. So talking about S4HANA integration, not all objects available for integration, of course. Not all objects available for two-side integration. For example, employees org structures. It's something that considered as a master data in S4HANA, and it can be integrated only in one way from S4HANA to Service Cloud V2. And I think it's the same for V1. Also regarding, for example, accounts and contacts and registered products, it's this is these entities are available for both sides integration. So from Service Cloud V2 to S4HANA and both ways, it's available to make this integration and updates. If we would like to have some kind of, let's say, workaround how to update S4HANA, we might use, for example, SAP Event Mesh to make this kind of event update notification from Service Cloud. So I hope it answers your question. But if not, please reach me directly and we will talk personally, and I will try to find information that I can share if it's not confidential.
Thank you. Okay, question number 2. What are the main challenges when migrating from SAP Sales and Service Cloud version 1 to version 2?
Well, I really hope that I answered this question in my presentation, but I will summarize once again. So we have limitations that not all features supported in V2 in comparison with V1. We have some problems with limitation in one-to-one mapping. Even features existing in two tenants, they are not one-to-one mapped. So it's not possible to migrate them automatically, and it will require manual setup in a new tenant. Yeah. So, and also customization like SDK, it's not supported. So you need to think about build up tool.
Okay. While we're waiting for new questions, we encourage everyone to join our community on other social networks: Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn, and of course, we are community platform via the link in the chat.
I think we have a few questions more. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. So
yeah.
from the marketing and functionality perspective, does SAP Sales Cloud equal Salesforce?
Well, I would say that it's really big debate regarding like who is better, like how they if they're comparable or not. What I know regarding Sales Cloud, especially version 2, it looks like really to Salesforce. What is outstanding is integration capabilities, as all SAP products have in comparison with Salesforce. But as people say and rumors, Salesforce has better, let's say, performance, and they have more features. And yeah, from user experience, Salesforce is better. It's what I heard. But SAP really put a lot of efforts to build a new version, like a new start for Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. So maybe one day they will be equal in functionality, not talking about integration, just functionality internal. But nowadays, I build what people say, yeah, Salesforce is just a bit ahead.
Okay. And one more, yeah. Did you try any AI capabilities of SAP Sales and Service Cloud? If yes, what's your impression?
Well, I didn't work in production with AI capabilities. It was just demos, on sandboxes. So what I have in mind that, well, you need to have a big scope of data to train your model, first of all. Secondly, SAP using different, let's say, generative AI for capabilities in their solutions. So they try to make it really, let's say, in use for different scenarios. So from this theoretical knowledge and from what I've seen in the, let's say, in demo and dev tenants, it looks impressive. But I'm not a sales rep and I didn't implement it in production, so I do not know the real impression of people who are daily working with it. So it's really hard to estimate for me, but from what I read and seen, impressive, but no real comments or experience from people who was working with it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. If there are no questions, then we would like to thank Anastasia for this impressive speech. And as I've already mentioned, so the webinar recorded will be posted on our YouTube channel. and the link to the recording will be sent in a separate email. Colleagues, thank you very much for being here and have a great day. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.